Hello. Whoopsie. Whoa. Ow. I don't know why I smacked my face into the screen. Hello, all my lovely and wonderful pugs. How you doing today? Hope you're doing well. We're going to be doing more Esoteric Ebb today. Hope you guys had a good weekend. We had a very, very good Pathfinder game last night that has worn me the fuck out. I'm going to try my best to keep doing voices today, but I might have to, take a lazier approach at some point. I considered swapping up my schedule and going back to Graveyard Keeper, but I'd already posted the schedule, so I didn't want to do that. Also, it would have been more effort to change the stream title. So, but yeah, I'm doing okay. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Our son has become an addict. Graham, he figured out how to play with this string on a stick. Well, he's decided he doesn't like that one as much. He likes his little orange string that he found one time. And so he's like, Mommy could play with me with the orange string. So now he screams at orange string until we play with him. But because it doesn't have a stick on the end, it's just an orange string, he's constantly yoinking it out of our hands and then yelling at us because it's on the floor now. And he's way more needy about this one. He's constantly wanting to play with it. So if you hear any Graham screams today, it's because Ammy's like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my computer now, and Graham will be like, no, 3 more hours playtime. So womp. Hello, Drag, welcome in. Skunk O'Clock is Skunk O'Clock. In between streams, we got followed by Pt3. I think I pronounced that right. Thank you for the follow. And Scarfire 917.
I know. Sorry.
You're alright. What'd you say?
I said I know that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, Pt3. Assuming it's the same person.
Cool. Might be. Alright, so here we are. Oh, I see. So we have a shadowy figure here of someone we might meet. AMD software, go away. Alright. He's such a stinky baby. My model keeps going womp womp because I keep turning my head to look at Graham. I wish VTube Studio had something to prevent, if I turn my head around, my model just, completely freaking the fuck out. Okay. Alright, so we still don't know how to get this box of Snells, but we did rob him of all his other things, and we talked to him a bunch last time. Yeah, we have these Elysium ointments. Glass jar 3 inches in diameter, containing a handful of doses of a thick mixture that smells faintly of aloe. The jar and its contents weigh a ½ pound. As an action, 1 dose of the ointment can be swallowed or applied to the skin. Plus 10 HP. So it's a big heal. We found our broken sword earlier, but I don't want to use that. So is that big snail on the other side of the bridge? Oh, I love that. Hell yeah. At 6 o'clock in game, we need to go and break up a fight on the docks at Water Lane. I don't live here. You're so right. Rough carving on the door says RNA. Markings on the door says Simi, son of Strokeback. Can I go down the stairs? down. Alright, no more down than this. Okay. Oh, we are quite hurt at the moment, too. Diane says dormitory out of commission. Yeah, let's ask why there's a human noble folk down here. Hello. The girl looks across the chasm. She's pretending not to look at you. A noblewoman? That's a pretty expensive dress. Let's clear our throat loudly. She turns her head towards you. What? Why are you looking at me? I wasn't. She's denying it very quickly. That means she's lying. Maybe. How rude. Cool. You're very rude. Sure, now go away. Why are you voting in the election? Don't care for it. The election, democracy, your own vote, or good choice, I don't care for it either. You see, I'm apolitical, and that means I don't vote in elections like this because I'm above any sort of political affiliations. She is a noblewoman, so I'm going to say democracy. It doesn't matter. And I wouldn't tell you if I did. I see you're also voting for it. I definitely want to do the high intelligence playthrough at some point and just go all in on becoming the wizard god king. I'll throw my hat in with the Asgalists. They're cool. Oh, okay, I don't care. You become more of an Asgalist. Gained 15 XP for choosing the political stance 3 times. She's a tough nut to crack, this one. What do you know about the tea shop, mysterious woman? She rolls her eyes. It exploded. Lies! Everyone keeps saying that. Duh. I have the feeling you don't want to talk about it. Don't have anything to say. I want to ask you some personal questions, but I have a feeling you won't respond in any meaningful way. Smart. Can I go now? Sure. Womp. S. Yellen and Sons. Opens at sundown. Not exactly sure what constitutes sundown. That's a sign. Real quick, look at my journal again. Okay. We got Water Lane View. That takes us to Pillar Crossing, that takes us to Tolstad. So this goes down to here. We've already looked at everything here. We've already looked at the Goblin Garden. And then we've got Tolstad. So the only thing I can think, the only place we haven't been is there's a tunnel deep under Viskin's lair that might go deeper and let us see more of the pillar. But I don't know how to go any deeper currently. Probably time locked. Hey Mischief, thank you for the care package. I think we've been everywhere at this point. So I think at this point, the only thing we can do is find some more NPCs to talk to. Until things start happening here in Waterlane. Once things start happening, we'll be able to interrupt whatever scuffle's going on here and go into the stop and shop. I forget if I said grats on first to Thomas. So, thank you, Thomas, for being first. And thank you for shouting out mischief. I see the griffin's back in my way. I guess I haven't figured out how to go across these steps either. Oh, I entered Snur's office. Children's drawings on the wall. A scholarly commendation for the Foreign Dip Commonwealth. Almost dead, but not quite. I'm surprised it wasn't empathy to see the children on the wall. Something stuck between the pages. Oh. 2 cardamom treats and a band-aid? A dream patch. Small amounts of pixie essence are incorporated into this sticky patch. Can be used to recover 3rd level spell slots. Ooh. I don't even have those yet. Something's at the bottom. Coins. Yeah, I'll rob this man. A magical quill and paper. Tiny dictator. +2 intelligence. Advantage against bureaucrats. Stealing from the poor now? We don't know that he's poor. The unseen servant magically attuned to a feather, pencil, and paper. It will write down everything spoken within 10 feet. The contents disappear off the page as it writes. The servant can follow commands to write down specific topics, keep the notes in a certain style, or focus on a chosen person's words. These are very common in the halls of the palace, where words can ruin lives, or worse, careers. Alright, yeah, we'll take that. Move so tiny every room looks like a giant mansion. No, I'm not tiny. Let's talk to this guy. Well, let's behold him first. Snur, Apple Dent. I don't know what SCH is. This is the guy that the is on the like Discord and stuff. Alright. Halfling Fordfolk, level 4 scholar. A scholar of the Fordnip Commonwealth, a man working out of a hole in the wall. This is the type of man who knows exactly where he's going and is simply going there very slowly and deliberately. He knows his expertise. His moves are calculated. His journey is long. Get out of here, bug. You take a step into the cramped office, standing in front of the sleeping halfling. This is a scholar? Curse the gods. Go investigate his book collection before waking the lazy halfling. Alright. Collection of books. Political, mostly. You see a collection of books from the philosophy canon, none of which you are really able to understand. Next to them, a line of famous political books. Asglist Theory, Hedonist, The Dark Book of Shadow, Lexandro, many more. The scholar has good taste. Open The Folk by Alexandro. Open A Blind Manifesto by the Hedonists. Open Memoirs of a Statesman by Nicholas Darrow. Open The Dark Book of Shadow by the Shadow Lord. Gotta vote for the Shadow Lord. I'm a little interested in what we might learn about Darrow. The first few pages are devoted to a rambling text about the history of governing. From ancient texts, from various beasts of Jor to gods of the divine era to several arcanist figures, Darrow then smoothly moves to conflate their accomplishments with his own. Divine era, the third of 5 eras. When the first gods were born out of mortal folk, the power began to entirely fall into their wonderful and fragile hands. Especially since he also includes an explanation of his lineage, that he is a direct firstborn grandson of Borgo Darrow, the first paladin of Earth. Borgo Darrow, the first paladin of Earth, founded the Earth God as well as the illustrious Darrow bloodline, known for his bravery and inability to be damaged in battle. Died of a heart attack at 40. His passing is used as an example of the importance of aging men to keep track of cardiovascular diseases. So true, bestie. The many pages go on to describe both practical, but mostly theoretical methods a statesman should use when dealing with the populace, the bureaucracy, and the ideologies of modern life. One second, I'm gonna blow my nose. Sorry about that. Generally, the book has a rather rough tone about democracy. A quote you've heard before from this book pops up towards the end. Those who believe in democracy have a wonderful view of folk, to think them capable of making rational and informed decisions devoid of personal bias and emotional conduct. No. You can believe in democracy and also understand that humans are human. Like, yes, people have personal biases and emotions, and that can be that can mean that we vote for things that aren't necessarily the optimal or the best. But you have to also acknowledge that the people at the top are also humans and also don't know. Darrow, you are no more immune to personal bias and emotional conduct than the folk. Democracy, said to originate from early arcane area civilizations in Old Dimenor. It is the rule of the majority. Those with suffrage may vote to enable their preferred government. A truly messy and ineffective process. From what you remember, it caused quite the stir when it came out 2 years ago. Quite anti-democratic. No wonder people were upset to have a magistrate use such terrible language. You recall a rumor about Shield Lord Yarn having hated this book so much during its printing that he personally bought 200 copies only to burn them in his garden. Don't do that! This is a terrible way to boycott. You don't boycott something by buying a bunch of them and then breaking them. Shield Lord, the magistrate handling industry, armories, city defenses, mining and refining, as well as resource allocation. Currently held by Eric Yarn in the North Wall District. It's probably not true. Probably. Ding. Alright, I might look at his other books later, but let's go talk to him. Good forenoon, citizen! Aw, look at him. Ow! He mutters and widens his bushy eyes. His eyebrows are bushy. His mustache is bushy. I don't think I would call his eyes themselves bushy. Don't I have bushy eyes? No, I don't know what that means. His confused gaze focuses on you. Life is pain. Anyone saying something else is trying to sell you something, princess. Eo, hi, Eo, how are you? What? Terrible, terrible pain. Oh, he mutters and rubs his face. The wrinkles fold over one another like waves on a storied sea. Are you? He looks at you with his weary expression. Then he rubs his nose and sniffs twice. Are you here for the invoice? His words come out in a typical Ford Nip accent. Thanks, Charisma. I don't know what that means. No. I like that I can just keep kicking his chair. Definitely going to do that if I do a strength playthrough. No. No. Oh. Oh? No. What? The invoice. Lean over to Snell. Should I have an invoice? No. No? No. Oh. Oh, hold on. I already paid that invoice. You're here for something different. He leans in, facing Snell. I hope Queen Goblin has no quarrel with this old scholar? He holds up a palm. No, we're here on city business. I'm exploring random buildings, and yours was unlocked. I mean, that's the true thing. But let's say, yeah, I got some questions about the tea shop mostly. Had a busy day today. You were at a craft fair seeing a friend you only see once a year, so that was nice. Aw, that does sound nice. You make or purchase any interesting crafts? Tea shop? Then you are dealing with interesting events. The city has its fair share of great calamities over the years, and the tea shop explosion appears tiny in comparison. Probably, but I have questions regardless. Oh, of course. Curiosity is absolutely vital for keeping the old brain in motion, so I commend you, cleric. And you as well, my goblin friend. He looks around grunting. Can I get either of you some fucking water, or... He wields swear words like the coastal winds. No, thank you, your companion replies very quickly. You're Scholar Appledent, right? Cute lightning bolt necklace and some fig and plum gin. Ooh, that sounds really good. Question? Answer. Daily double. What's up, Jack? Oh, man, my fucking face hurts. How does one wield coastal winds? I don't know. Perhaps with a sail? Me? Yes. I'm Snur Appledent, he says and bows his head in the chair. Scholar of Fordnip University, in dedicated service to progress of AIS. AIS?
Stimky nerd.
I'm your Steamkey. Hi, Sammy. Welcome in. Thanks for the 45 months. Very much so appreciated. AIS? Alignment Intent Studies. Alignment, an esoteric effect which brands each creature on the coast with one of the 9 labels on 2 axes, lawful to chaotic and good to evil. It's debated exactly who or what determines the parameters within the effect. Spells like detect alignment are capable of passing this effect. Ah, yes. Alignments. A terrible thing. Pathfinder has done away with them, except in the loosest idea for, like, some scaffolding of how the cosmology works, and that's about it. Wave your arms until you look stupid, so wave your arms for 0 seconds. Wow, you don't look stupid, Drag. Primarily, my expertise lands on the topic of alignment and its many historical and contemporary applications. Some bullshit, I will tell you. These days, I mostly deal with other forms of study. Specifically, I run this office here on the experimental technique of psychoanalysis. What kind of magic is that? No magic at all. Although there have been some detect thoughts involved at some points in the development. It's a form of mind healing, as they call it. I'll be the one to call it support instead. Oh no, we found a therapist! Scary. It's essentially the idea that the mental present is shaped by the mental past, and that through dialogue, our unreleased unconscious ghosts can be vanquished. So it's talking about feelings? I know. Truly horrifying. A Reedsian friend of mine once told me this joke, and I apologize if it is too vulgar for your taste, but he sputters out the words through little chortles. Yeah, let's listen to it. Right. A cleric, an arcanist, and a rogue delve into the lair of a succubus. The fiend defeats all 3 men, throwing them in her dungeon. But she grows to fancy them, so she offers them a choice. For each man who can successfully satisfy her, she will let that man go. Otherwise, he speaks with little fits of laughter in between. She ends him, so to say. This is going to be a long tale. Cool. You actually haven't heard this one. A succubus, such a fiend would never offer such terms to mortal man. What a rambunctious tale go on, not long. Yeah, what a rambunctious tale. Do go on. About to take some psychic damage, Miv? Hopefully. Can't be as bad as hearing the words Glupack. So, the three adventurers debate in which order to go. Eventually, the rogue and the arcanist decide the cleric should go first, as he's a virgin, and will be least likely to increase her standards. Your goblin companion rubs his eyes as he listens to the joke. The cleric, being divine and so on, prays to his god and goes to the fiend's bedchambers. He comes out 10 minutes later, completely unharmed, and gives a thumbs up to his two friends, who of course both feel a great sense of relief. The arcanist goes in next, confident and arrogant. If the cleric could do it, the fiend must be easy. Within minutes, his bones roll out of the bedchamber entrance, the man having been incinerated by hellish flames. The rogue's horrified, but realizes, obviously, the arcanist overestimated his abilities. So he carefully enters the bedchamber, ready to put every ounce of effort into it. Less than a minute later, screams erupt from the bedchamber, and the rogue's lifeless corpse falls out of the entrance. The cleric prays for the souls of his comrades, gathers their remains for a burial. The succubus steps out smoking a cigarette. She tells the cleric, "My, your friends were truly terrible. They were just fumbling about down there. At least you managed to touch it a little." To which the cleric responds, "You're truly an awful creature, and I will pray for your presence to be exorcised from the plane of existence every day until the day I die." Then, before he walks away, the cleric also adds, "Oh, but I did heal that horrible wound you had between your legs. Hopefully that makes you less evil in the future." The goblin lets out a slight gust of wind through his nose. Laugh hard, I get it, I don't get it, funny, not funny. I get it, and I enjoyed the joke. I hope you all understood the joke. The halfling chortles loudly. My kind of humor, you might say. In short, you can view the succubus as an evil in the world which religious fervor would pray to repair. However, such reparation could often lead to a not-so-optimal path. Could I please explain it in detail? Vagina. He keeps on laughing. Or, most simply, you could say it's a basic allegory for alignment itself. The cleric meant well for all intents, but his actions cost the lives of both his comrades. Is that evil, or is that good? And so on. Either way, we psychoanalysis. Yes, that's what we were talking about. It's about your feelings, thoughts, memories, choices you made, things that have happened to you. They can bog you down, so to say. And the goal in my clinical practice is to root that out of the patient's mind and help make them aware of repressed negative baggage, if you will. So we can move forward more speedily. Sounds like removing a curse of the mind. In a metaphorical sense, yes. But it's not the only thing I work on here. I am currently exploring the dream of animus. That's something to do with masculinity and femininity, based on Cividix's ideas. A dream of man and woman. What a pervert. Yeah, you like this guy. You dream about men and women? Sometimes. But the dream is just a concept of understanding gender ideologies. Can I become a feminist in this game too? I loved becoming a feminist in Disco Elysium. One of my favorite moments in Disco Elysium is seeing the pop magazine with two ladies kissing on it and leaning forward, tapping the magazine, going, "Very modern. I approve." Beyond that, I also focus a lot on my own unverified theories. He slaps his knees and grins. The folk spirit. Have you heard of it? Sounds like a collective folk view on morality. Is that some kind of unified moral or ethical code of people or culture? No, it's... He leans back and squints. That's not actually that far off. You got a head on you, cleric. The folk spirit is the working title of my new thesis. Most of it is, if you excuse my Anurin, fucking bullshit. But in short, It is about how each folk share a number of core communal archetypes, or myths. I have traveled around the coast to collect as many tales, writing down thousands of stories previously only passed down orally. Ah, grim. All you see, all to see how well my theory holds up in the minds of so many folk. He clears his throat and leans back into his chair. Apologies, I'm ranting here. Let us put a stop to it. What do you want, cleric? Oh. Mind healing, folk spirit, alignment, death and resurrection. Why don't you use magic in your mind healing? What is love? Tea shop. What are you voting in the election? You're a halfling. Give me your thoughts on the Clanland ordeal. I have some personal questions for you. Oh boy. Well, no wonder this guy's on the on all the stuff. Clearly an important character here. Alright. Who are you voting for in the election? I'm a filthy Asgalist. Good choice. It's an acceptable choice. The green banner's flown in a strange context here in this Republican wet dream of ours. Asgalism is supposed to be about abolishing the entire structure of hierarchy. That history is driven by economic struggles, specifically the clash between classes. Asgal's end goal is classless, stateless society where everyone's equal. But looking at Norvikian Asgalists, it's clear to me that they long ago let this goal slip past. Look at them. They're shaking hands with the establishment, trying to find a peaceful solution, they say. You want a violent revolution? We need a violent revolution. Simply becoming part of the establishment, peace is good. You want a detailed 3-hour explanation of his theory? Absolutely. Also, how you doing today? Whoa, it's good to see you. You want a violent revolution? He frowns. Look, the hairy halfling mutters. Genuine change, true change, needs a truly revolutionary break with the existing order. There's no doubt about that. Incremental reforms, small changes within the capitalist system will always fail to address the fundamental contradictions and injustices. My time in Reeds has made that clear to me. But always be wary of simplistic utopian visions. It is a path covered in corpses that leads such blind idealism. So I will vote for this social democratic compromise. This handshake with capital. I didn't mean to say capital, but I feel like this guy would say capital, so I'm going to allow that. Then I'll go home and piss myself and die, dreaming the next generation will have the answers I do not. Wow. You sure hit it on the head, sir. Compromise is good enough for now. I hope the next generation votes for violent revolution. Oh no, Mr. Cleric. Any Asgalism is too much Asgalism. I'm not. Oh, okay. I am an Asgalist. So compromise, or I hope the next generation votes for violent revolution. I'm gonna say it because I think it's really funny. I hope the next generation votes for violent revolution. He grumbles. You keep aligning yourself as an Asgalist. Ooh, you get a lot of experience as you start properly aligning yourself. You know what Miv wants to say? Do not be too eager to deal out death and judgment. Not because these truly fascist regimes do not warrant death, but because whatever force would be strong enough to dismantle them would be so powerful that we could never trust them to create a perfect realm without oppression. Ooh, that's a salient point. Not even Asgard could do that. And yes, even the revolutionary freestriders are fascists, in a deep sense. How do you think they got their start? Through the coin of those who profited in the great suffering of old Dimenor, in the Coast War, and grind in the flesh of humanity. Freestriderism is filthy opportunism, not republicanism. They're just arcanist regimes with a painted mask and a slightly less horrific esoterical power in hand. Slightly. So what, we don't even try to bring about Asgal's dream? Free Striders are more than that. They're the ones who got this election started. Free Striders are truly terrifying. I think we focus on this. I wanna chat with this guy about Asgalism. Now, Mr. Schnur Appledent, would it help if I told you that I'm actually Krasmazov? That I'm the living re-embodiment of Krasmazov? You can tell because of my mutton chops, which you can't see because I'm wearing a helmet. He says, I don't know. I'm an idiot. You figure it out. With a deep groan, he starts rubbing his hairy face. Workers unite in unionization and guild power. It's all well and good until it gets too loud. Make a bit too much noise, and the true powers quickly and efficiently drop this illusory mask, facade, the esoteric spell that tricks us into thinking they care, or that they are in any way Folkarian. So what about you, cleric? Folkarian, concerned with or seeking to promote the welfare of all folk around the coast. Your vote in Asgalist, I presume? Yes, they have my vote. Norvik Free Striders. I'm voting for the new God Wizard King. Voting, laugh, my good gnome. I am entirely apolitical. Ew. Yes, they have my vote. Terrible to hear. But why not, right? He sniffs. Now, for something else. Before I start ranting about the suffragette movement. Your companion glances at you. No, please, really. I really want to know about this, what you think about the suffragettes. The halfling wags a finger at you. You're a brave man, cleric. Thanks. Wink. Stop doing that. He can't even see it. You don't tell me what to do, Charisma. When the first talks of the election began, it was late Arcane era, about 30 years ago. In those early days, the suffragettes were mostly dwarven women. They had the backing of a few hardcore Universal Asgalist sects that had remained since the Great Project concluded. Great Project, a period of 12 years where a mass of dwarves immigrated to the newly reconquered and founded Norvik to be employed in the construction of the city. But when Earth died and talks of an election grew loud, the dwarven women had a hard time getting through, both because of the less progressive Asgalists and, of course, the traditional culture practices of the Earth folk. So the movement didn't kick into gear properly until, of course, human women decided to join. Those are scary. I like those. Go on. Alright, I like those. I like human women. I'm pretty fond of them, I gotta say. He nods. Statistically probable, yes. Mind you, this is after almost 2 decades of dwarven women pushing for universal suffrage. Within just a few years, with the voice of angry, rich human women yelling and writing and protesting, I see what real-life parallels we are drawing here. I'm a cleric. I might be a druid. We'll see. The Palace Patriarchy gave in. That's the history lesson. But here's the part I'm fucking furious over. What? Those rich human women? You know what happened to them? He waves his hand. I tell you, many of them are today's fascists. Can you imagine? They run an incredible campaign in order to get the right to vote, to break the chains of oppression, piss off the tyrannical men, smash the patriarchy, and so on. All to throw their lot in with the very same traditionalist ideology. An ideology that clearly wants to, will of course also just not having any voting going on at all, but specifically not allow women to vote. That's ridiculous. Why would they do that? I ask the same. A part of me thinks it has to do with some type of opportunism. These women, whose time in the spotlight ended once they won the right to vote, suddenly their entire platform of activism disappeared. Overnight. But even still, why nationalists? Perhaps there's some, if you don't mind me speculating wildly, some type of perverse psychosexual thing at play here. Highly misogynistic statement. He should do better. Or is it simply a question of class? It probably is. Yeah, probably. Thinking that women have thrown away their activism for Stepfordization kink is very funny to me. Silly snur. They're mostly a group of rich people, and that would logically supersede their identity as women. So true, bestie. If the rich women position in society is threatened, they have more to lose as rich than as women. It's a complex topic. I don't have fucking time to think about it, even though I want desperately to figure it out. But it's something I'm fascinated by, you know? The halfling rants about things he is trying to understand. He's able to capture an audience that way, clearly. His points are somewhere close to coherent. Anyway. Well, what do you know about the tea shop, the one that exploded? Ah, horrific. He gestures wildly towards the rocky wall. Shit started shaking. It was as if the red rock of Tolstad itself was cracking. For half a second or so. So were you down here when it happened? Did you go check it out? You hear anything? What do you think happened? I've got some questions. So were you down here when it happened? Yep. I think I was asleep, but the sound woke me. Did you go check it out? No. Someone told me later what it was like. I have work to do here. You hear anything about it? Rumors? Yeah, you should not believe rumors, cleric. But yes, I did hear some nasty stuff. Some people seem to think the owner did it himself since he's missing. Some others think the city did it, since they printed a clear lie in the Post. I've also heard people say the Asgilists are responsible, since it was their hideout. Or that the Freestriders did it for the same reason, blowing up Asgilist opposition and so on. It's all bullshit, of course. Don't believe in any rumors. What do you think happened? He shrugs violently. Got some other questions? Good. Some personal questions for you. Nothing too interesting here, he says and sniffs. I see no reason why you would investigate an old halfling with nothing good to grant into the world. Please? He waves his hands dismissively. Fine, keep your secrets, old man. Okay. Can you give me some mind healing? Of course. I am, however, a bit swamped in work right now. I'll get you booked a slot. I have time after the elections. You should come visit then. Can't you make time now? No, I'm afraid I cannot. Truth be told, I'm very overworked. I'm struggling with a certain topic. He makes a noise that might once have been a cough. The old man is frustrated. He's trying to avoid even thinking about it. What? Now keep your secrets, old man, is said to the halfling rather than by. I'm sure that was intentional. I'm focusing on a specific idea as civetics. The idea of two opposite faces of your ego, masculine and feminine. But I just can't seem to get past a certain obstacle. May I explain? You see, there's a work called Book of the Mind. It is, in my opinion, Civetics' masterpiece, in the figurative sense. Was it like a secret book hidden deep in a dungeon? Sounds nerdy and figurative? Figurative? Indeed. No, I'm asking, what does that mean? A figurative masterpiece? I'm saying it's a masterpiece in the sense of the common tongue, as opposed to a masterpiece in the literal sense being a work to finish a master's scholarship. Anyway. There is a rare edition of this book, which contains a rumored so-called final foreword from Civetics himself. In this foreword, he apparently reveals a revelation about his categorization of the psyche, specifically on the topic of gender. Maybe it's a skunk, possibly? No, that's confirmed. That's known. That's lore. Hi, and Raleigh. Welcome in. How are you doing? We're talking about gender. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but we're going to learn. funny fantasy concept, I'm sure. Might be nothing, but it would be highly interesting to get my grubby hands on it. You got a sinus headache? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you thought we were talking about renders. No, they in old fantasy times they couldn't render images. That's why computers didn't work. He leans in and whispers, and more importantly, it would bring me great pleasure to know how much Civitix would be spinning in whatever Thazanian mass grave he's buried in if he knew a halfling like me was pioneering in his footsteps. Oh, I like this guy. He wasn't a fan. Understandable. You guys are pretty weird. You want to develop his ideas further. He wasn't a fan? Like most humans of his era, he was very, let's say, humanity first. Snur leans back in his chair. The final 6th edition of his book, it was only printed in 10 copies. The publisher then hacked up the price in order to sell it to collectors. Those collectors have then spent the last 3 decades using these copies as a form of investment, making sure to keep the content of that forward a tightly guarded secret. How terrible. A scholar's words should be freely available. Smart way of making money. If it's about gender, then it's better to keep it secret. Have we confirmed Memphis is a skunk? You've never heard such a thing? You have a primary source. It's me. We lack the technology. You have ears. How terrible. A scholar's words should be freely available. Nothing's ever free, even if it's free. So, you want me to find this rare book? He nods. I drank a bit too much the other night, and in my desperation, I paid a diviner to cast Locate Object for me. I didn't expect anything, and it was very expensive. However, she actually found it. Copy of the 6th edition Book of the Mind is here, very close to Waterlane View. And she even told me the exact direction. He points to the floor, about 40 meters, straight down. The fuck is a meter? Right. That is something like 100 feet. 150 maybe. Sorry, the diviner was a free strider. You know how they're like in reads. Silly decimal people. I like the idea that this guy is a very progressive, knowledgeable person on subjects of the mind and on progressivism and like the rights of different peoples and races and politics, and still is like fucking the metric system. I like my beer by the hogshead and my pants by the crow's waists. Gonna hop over to mobile and make yourself a grilled cheese? Aw, hell yeah, I love grilling a cheese. I've been very frustrated because I got some habanero cheese that's really good. But anytime I've had something spicy the past week and a half, it's really hurt my tooth. I think whatever is going on in my mouth, it could still be like a cavity or whatever, but I think it's blood pressure related because most of the pain happens when my blood pressure is up or when like there would be increased blood flow, like when I eat something spicy. So silly decimal people is very weird to say for someone who thinks of himself as a halfling. Well, yeah, he's not a 0.5ling. He's a halfling. It's in the city below? Yes, exactly. What was the name of this diviner? Lisa, I believe. He sniffs. She used to have a hut on top of the Free Strider building. It wandered away, I think. Wandered? He makes little walking motions with his fingies. Skedoodled, as they say. An esoteric house. She seemed kind. I hope she stops working for those fucking parasites. Sounds like a quest. Sure, why not? So many side quests, Snell mutters to himself. Delve into the dangerous tunnels below and get me that book. Don't get yourself killed, and in exchange I will, well, what the fuck kind of reward do you want? You swear a lot. I want you to teach me how to be a man! I want you to heal my broken mind. You have a magic item, something? You swear a lot. Yes. Fuck you. Life is pain. Get over it. I want you to heal my broken mind. Impossible. No one can fix another's mind. I can promise support, but no guarantee. Choose something else. Well, I don't want to be a man, so you got a magic item or something? He shrugs. I have books in droves. You know what? He says and snaps his fingers. The book itself. It's expensive and probably magical in some sense. Get me the book, let me take a look at the forward, and you keep the book afterwards. That's still a quest, right? I don't have to even return to you in that case. I can just take the book. So you can't offer me something else to do? That sounds wonderful. I love quests. I'm not an expert in what kind of weird shit is down there, but the city below is dangerous, so don't wander blindly. Good luck, cleric. Alright, I definitely want to ask about this other stuff, but, like, not right now. Let's spread it out. Womp, 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 womp. Still haven't found out more about the fishermen. I haven't been able to find them. Alright. Well, out we go. Alright. Oh, there's a note on the door, isn't there? Office of Snare Appledent, PN. So... Oh, time for an ad break, as it turns out. Yeah. Is it sundown? Probably not. Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and run our ad, and I'm just going to, like, walk back to Tolstad while the ad's running. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. And we are back. Hope everyone is still doing well. And yeah, I just walked here. I didn't do anything else. So, now that we have this bureaucracy paper... what is it, Graham? You scream? He screamed at me, and then he's like, oh, okay, they don't want mommy looking at me. You thought we were Legion? No. I think that this game is a pucka game. That is a blood on the clock tower joke. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna... I think we've already beholded, yeah, Braxo Pencilwing, who is a devil. But yeah. He looks like a beer. What is it, baby? You wanna come say hi to chat? You come up? Yeah? Graham? Yeah? Graham stream? Yeah, Graham is going to tell you his political opinions. He's a filthy capitalist. You can tell because of the unmitigated greed. You gonna come out? No? Okay. You're not gonna come up? I'm gonna go back to streaming. More snacks and less baths? I have never given Graham a bath. I cannot possibly give him less baths. Unless I intentionally made him dirty. He would like more snacks, though. Yeah, baby. You raise your head towards the sky. Above you sits a tiny red creature. His wings flutter faintly in the wind. An evil creature. Beware. Staring at a piece of paper, he does not acknowledge your presence. What you reading? Hello, I'm from the local government. Hey, little guy, why aren't you on my shoulder? What you reading? A sigh escapes the fiend's maw. He slowly puts down the paper. The paper is actually a torn-out page from a magazine. He appears to be reading an article on the latest debate. I like the funny pictures. I believe the fiend is being sarcastic. I like the articles more. You can read. Congratulations. He's mocking you. Perfectly snide remark. I like this devil already. Wait. He says, leaning in to get a good look at you. Wait, what, baby? You come up? I'm not playing with this string with you. I'm streaming. I can't play string game. You come up? Yeah, here we go. He's here, everyone. Everyone say hi to Graham. I'm gonna put a little dirt in his eye. No. Demon school's failing these kids. You would also like skunk snack delivery when? Never. You will all starve. Because I am poor and do not have snacks. Oh, it's a baby boy. Rubbing him's ears. Yeah. Rubbing him's ears. Oh, what a good boy. Mwah. You're that cleric I threw in the river the other day? That would be funny. Wait, a baby? Yeah, he's a baby. String time now? No, you guys... I can't change the stream description to string time. Oh, away he goes. Okay, goodbye, baby. Wait, he says, leaning in to get a good look at you. Earth God? A cleric? How's you doing here? That reaction, your presence is in common. You can go wherever you want. Fuck off! Divine mission, the usual. Very well, I won't get in your way. I, for one, am very happy for your presence. This place has gone downhill since the city let the goblins and the free striders run amok. Oh no, the devil's a kiss-ass. We need some damn order in this place. So if you need any legal advice, just let me know. He gives you a tiny, sharp smirk. You should be aware of the fact that this is literally a devil. You can hear out any advice, just don't listen to it blindly. Are you a barrister, a tiny barrister? Can you give me free legal advice? Should I invest in stocks? What about alignment? What does law have to say on resurrections? I have some questions about the PPG, and you hear about the tea shop. Let's open. Can you give me free legal advice? Oh yes, I'll gladly assist a member of the Earth Guard any day. Just ask. Okay. You hear about the tea shop? Yeah, of course. Pretty hard to miss with when flying past Tolstad. Lady Sageleaf says it's her jurisdiction. The actual shop? Ah, no, the location, he nods. Yeah. It's a legal shitstorm. Legal shitstorm. A situation in which only those in power can decide what is actually de jure. That's one way to describe it. Could be argued the shop is contained within the original Tolstad HWBT Accord, and could be argued it's definitely not. The goblins sort of act as lawmen and custodians wherever the official city resources don't reach. Oh, I did do one other thing while I was waiting for ads to end. I went ahead and ate some apples and a couple treats to get my HP back. But to suddenly reclaim a street corner like that? Suspicious. So the goblins are getting screwed. Maybe. Or at the very least, there's something the city doesn't want them to know. Thinking about it for a few more seconds makes it clear to me that it's all a big cover-up. Wouldn't be the first time a city-trained spellcaster goes a little off the hinges. Now you wonder if you can have the devil on your shoulder and the angel on the other. I feel like they would be slightly unbalanced. Slander! The city does not train people to explode. I don't believe that. Other than that, not to be self-incriminating or anything, but it could be a fiend or an elemental. I mean, Waterlane has shipments from Kargamesh every other month. Maybe a fire elemental slipped through. Who knows? Easy answer tends to be the right one, but somehow I'm not sure. Tens, the currency of the Free Strider Revolution. While free cities have multiple currencies, the magical paper money of Reeds is quickly growing into the most valuable across the coast. Interesting. I guess that's true. The word tens comes from tender, like legal tender. My guess would be it's a rogue spellcaster. It's the simplest answer. Ruffled feathers added, but I suggest having a chat with the owner of the tea shop. Who knows what feathers were ruffled, eh? Gives you an ominous chuckle. Citizen? Alright. Who do we want to talk with next? Why is this rock active again? Alright, I guess I do have additional stuff here. What's with the snail stuff? Norvik is built upon layers and layers of ruins. One of those layers, one of the oldest, were a snail folk. Thus, you can surely find many of the snail symbols and spiral shapes around the city. What are we thinking, Snail? It's a rock. And what a rock it is! Good rock. Great, even. He chuckles to himself. Touch the surface. It's cold. Your hand runs across the stone, finding it more coarse than you thought. The ridges in the spiral are even smoother. You find they're not all coarse. You realize this was most certainly an esoterically constructed art piece. What's more, you feel an outline of a script, symbols. Trace your fingers. Your fingers trace them, faintly, along the spiral shell of the snail. The symbols do not mean anything to you. If you had comprehend languages, you could understand the script just by touching it. A comprehend languages, a first-level spell allowing you to understand the literal meaning of all spoken and written words. That would be nice to have. Well, we could talk... No, the kitty cat's not here anymore. Perhaps the kitty cat will return. I'm seeing the nature spirits pop up again. Are they leading me somewhere, perhaps? A apple. Yay! More apples! See if any more of them show up real quick. Have I gone up here? Oh yeah, that's the drunk sphinx. I think I've gone everywhere on the map that I'm allowed to go currently. I'm gonna come talk to this seagull in case the seagull is in fact the bird folk. Yeah. You see a bird sitting on the halfway bridge ruins. It's large, its beady eyes staring into nothing. This thing dangerous now? Nah, giant seagulls don't attack people. I don't believe you. They're seagulls. Giant seagull, a native Ascani bird. They are opportunistic feeder upon the coast, hunting the various large and monstrous fish and crustaceans, as well as scraps left by folk. They're seldom aggressive, despite their size. I guess it's like dogs. The smaller the dog, the more aggressive. They do steal stuff sometimes, but don't leave food out in the open air and you'll be fine. The bird does not appear to react to you. The giant seagull. You have a number of traumatic run-ins with them during your youth. They are not normally a danger to anyone. Except you. You are cursed. You think this guy knows something, Snell? I don't know, cleric. It's a gull. Pet the birdie. As you reach forth, the gull doesn't seem to react until it snaps at your... it snaps at your fingers. The pinch of pain. Don't. I want to keep petting the bird. Are you sure? That doesn't sound too smart. Do not anger the beast. It's calm, just sitting there. It has done nothing to you, and clearly wants to be left alone. Why do you deal with creatures like this? It's below you. Alright, speak with animals. Womp. The spell activates. You suddenly watch as the bird lets out an annoyed grunt. What are you looking at, you dumb featherless walker? I have some questions. It speaks! The bird jolts and looks at you sideways. Who is this? One who speaks so bird-like, yet does not carry wings. I'm the cleric, or I'm from the local government. We have some questions for you. The bird lifts his neck up high. A proud beast. I am Faye, defensor of the coast, servant of Saint C. You're no feather, not enemy, unless you break the oath between our worlds. Oath, a legal agreement, either spoken aloud or written down. Some oaths, especially those sworn on the names of deities, have real esoteric power over one's body and mind. They can also be broken, but at great cost. Oath? What oath? The oath of pieces. You lower stat us will not allow your upperman to divulge such information, of course. Trying to figure out what this speaking style is supposed to sound like. Is that the oath that tells your people to allow us to take your offerings? Sacrifices. Ah, right, the offerings. Holy offerings! He barks. Squawks. Yes! The bird speaks like a bad politician who loves the sound of his own voice. Who's Saint C? The Holy See! Ah, that's from, like, Final Fantasy, isn't it? Jeez. Jeez. A common slang, shortened from Jesus. Often used to exclaim a sense of shock and or annoyance. Jesus, a titan who roamed Ascani during the Fade era, famous for his visual similarity to a goose, only a lot bigger. Oh, Geesus. He said geese. Geesus. Gisus, a titan who owned Ascani during the Fade era, famous for his visual similarity to a goose, only a lot bigger. Some ancient monuments found in the modern-day Vizca seem to indicate that this titan died for the sins of all minor geese. Titan, term for gigantic creatures who first inhabited and shaped Jor's realm. The bird screams awfully loud. I love Gisus. I served the Lord. I forget the voice I was doing already. I served the Lord of the water, of the Holy Sea. He roams the coast. What are you voting in this election? His eyes light up. The Holy Sea! The bird yells calmly. He flaps his wings violently. Cool, do you want to know who I'm voting for? You should vote for the Holy See, the bird says. If it's anything else, I do not care. You better not be asking about politics, cleric. The goblin is perceptive. He knows you well already. But I like asking about what people are going to vote for. That way I can tell them they should be Asgalist. What do you know about the tea shop explosion? The what? Big fire over there. Point at tea shop. Ah, yes. It was the blue flamme S of death. The Lord of Water has spoken of it much. He knows. He knows that it is a sign of the end times. Oh, gods. As the featherless burn upon the end of the ebbing tide, those who stay seated will scorch like the burning coast. A second coming of the featherless Huber is. And the doorway will open once more. The bird clears his throat. The Holy See says so. I do not remember the rest. But something like the feathered court will rise as long as the dice of the string master favors us. Ah, dice of the string master, you say? Interesting. I get it. That's cool. The Holy See is truth. Could I meet with the Holy See? No. Only feathered are permitted. The bird gives an expression you swear could only be described as a smirk. What are you doing here? I'm on a mission to watch the water. The Lord of Water demands information. I give it. After a long day of information gathering. Do you live here? No! I nest at the wreck. That is the Holy Sea's home base. You are not invited. Okay, goodbye. The bird's regal tone fades. You're left with nothing but the sound of a scunny wind. Okay, goodbye, bird. 5:12. Does Snell speak with animals too? No. He's just aware that that's the kind of person that I am. I could ask this kid some more questions. Hey, kid.
Huh?
Hey, it's you again. Buying something? Modern Man, Shivers and Sheiks, Norvikian Post, News of Norvik, To Tame a Dame, and Hex Weekly. About the owner of this kiosk. Oh, my boss, Thalasos. He's pretty nice, merman. I could have just told. I was about to say, Thassa. Because he mentioned Gisus. No, he started it. He said G's. And then our brain explained what Gisus is. The bird didn't say anything about it. He's just aware that Gisus exist. Can I speak with him? I guess he's not very talkative, but he usually fishes behind the kiosk in the afternoons. That's his only break from work, I think. Alright. Fishes behind the kiosk in the afternoons. Not sure how he fishes. We're a ways away, but... Said to say in response to what the seagull said. I think it was in response to us, but maybe not. What does he pay you? I get about 5 crowns an hour. That's a really good salary for someone my age. It's awful pay. You're clearly being exploited. He shrugs. Other kiosk kids get like half that. Thalassos is pretty generous. At least that's what my brother says. Your brother is a fool. You need to rebel and fight against your oppressive exploiter. Nah. As long as you feel like you're selling your labor at a fair price, just remember to stay vigilant. Sure, I don't really know what that means, but yes, absolutely. He's trying to avoid the subject to not cause you to become more aggressive. And that makes me angry! What's he do around here? He stocks a stall, usually really early in the morning. Beyond that, I think he just does other stuff. He owns a bunch of properties around the city, so he's usually pretty busy. I don't need to say your boss is a merman. Can you just tell me the news? Boy stares at you. He's thinking of how to explain this to you. So here's the thing. We sell newspapers here. If I just tell you the news, we won't get any money. We? Are you a partial owner in the business? No. The kid is making an enormous profit for his boss each day, probably. Only your boss loses on this exchange, I suppose. Let's fuck them together. You and me. Hold out your hand. Come, young child. Let's do a communism together. Arn stares at your outstretched hand. He glances back and forth for a moment before a smile spreads on his face. Yeah! Fuck him! Arn grabs your hand and shakes it. You manipulated this kid like he was a pile of wet clay. The free striders shall be eradicated with interactions such as these, one at a time. You got some Isgalian spirit in you. Whoa, hold on. I ain't green. The boy is scared of the egalitarian dream. I'm red to the bone. As long as you're not a free strider, Earth would be proud. Do not be afraid, Asgard will return to us. Fuck politics, just tell me the news. Do not be afraid. Asgal will return to us. Squeeze his hand. Miv may not be a fan of capitalism, just a hunch. It's possible. You wanted the news, right? You scared him. Poor kid. That's one way of doing it. Kid grabs you a copy of the Post and starts reading. Sad. Would have been more fun if he grabbed news in Norvik. That one's mostly rumors and sensational bullshit. It's great. News in Norvik, the second biggest newspaper in the city. Free Strider lined, infamous for their gossip and lowbrow journalism. Election week, 5 parties above exclusion limit. Polling shows the Nationalists ahead at 40%, the Free Striders and Asgalists being behind at 20 each. What is it, Graham? Uh-huh. You good? Yeah. I'm gonna go back to the video game now. Just a character that Miv is playing. Role-playing games let you explore fantasies that you could never in real life, like rallying around communism. The Arcadists and Agrarians are holding out just above the limit at about 5% each. These polls are mainly done in rich areas. You know, the human areas. We'll see about that on election day. The party of Dorvik still won't comment on the missing paladin. Oh. This Gorb Skaldman fellow's been gone for months at this point. But here's the drama. A Skaldman, the first noble house in to be raised by Earth after the founding of Norvik, famously formed during a party where Johilda the Bard, with the silver voice, performed for Earth, and he enjoyed it so much that he immediately named her nobility and gave her a piece of the city to watch over. Her descendants became loyal servants to this day. He was last spotted heading... Whoops. Yeah, okay. He was last spotted heading down into the city below. Maybe he's stuck fighting undead or something. Or maybe he's dead. You know, after having fought some undead or whatever. paladin. Sounds strange. What's a paladin? Okay, I love this. Maybe it's not intentional, but there is a famous bit from a internet reviewer I used to like before he kind of crashed out and gave up on internet reviewing. The Spoony one. He reviewed the old Ultima video game series, and in like Ultima 7 or 8, like one of the very later ones, the game has a bunch of like, so all of the games are supposed to be a series. There's not supposed to be like you are the same character in every single game. But presumably corporate mandate was like, hey, we need the game to be more accessible. So there's a lot of like, clarifying questions that you can ask to have things explained to you. But that doesn't really work if you're the main character of all of the games. Like, you would need to be a new character to be asking these questions. So you ask, what's a paladin? Which is a horribly offensive thing to be asking if you are the same character of the previous games. Because, like, one of your best friends is a paladin who put down his life to save you and stuff like that. So, yeah. What's a paladin? The boy stares at you. The goblin companion stares at you. What? Yeah, this is definitely reference. What's a paladin? You don't know what a paladin is? No. Why? Is it some sort of political title? He's joking. No, I'm not. The goblin groans. Anyway, stares at the bottom of the page. Apparently the party of Norvik is going to hold the election without him on the official list of members. The Lord Patriarch Akasum cannot be reached for comment, it says. So Food Lord Trollmord will now head the list, and Coin Lord Darrow will be number 2. I wonder how that'll go. Okay, so we have an important figure who has been removed in order to try and bolster probably the capitalists. Food Lord, the magistrate handling agriculture, fishing, city stockpiles, rural communities, poor laws, food safety standards, and organizing festivals. Currently held by Yikraval Trollmord for the Dvargby district. Trollmord, house founded by Nope, a peasant who slaughtered several trolls alongside Earth during the conquest. He was granted a high position in the city due to his bravery. Too bad for Lord Gorb, unless he's found before the actual election day, of course. Lord Gorm, the last anointed paladin of Earth, one of the original faces of the party of Norvik. He went missing months ago, and many believe he has abandoned his post. Wow, I passed a strength check. If you're headed down to the city below, you should look for him. Yes, I should. I will find this legendary paladin. Nice. Anyway, he turns the page. As Gallist rallies held all over the city, there's an op-ed about how the chant is being printed illegally and needs to be stopped. Copper Press Fever. If anyone knows the location of the printers used in producing the chant, please inform the nearest Free Strider office immediately. They can't do that. It's illegal to print without a license. You don't sell the chant here, do you? No, sir. No illegal papers here. Turns the page. The Agrarian Party has lost almost the entire working class vote. Over half the city guilds are giving official support to the Green cause. A shame. The workers vote in their own interest. How surprising. Yeah, the Agrarian Party seems to be out of the race, more or less, along with the Arcane Circle and the Conservational Lobby. The Arcane Circle, a tiny political party seeking to return to Arcanist rule and magocracy. They're treated as a joke, mostly, but there are a handful of wizards and noblemen who support it still. The Arcane Circle, a small political party in Norvik. In the latest polls, they had a 0.5% of the vote. It is run by Rubric Prax and his apprentices. Get out of here, bug. At his infamous rotating tower in Ostgard. Ostgard, one of 3 official districts in Norvik. Basically anything on the inland side of the river that's not part of the North Wall. a mostly domestic effort, filled with both cheap, tightly stacked housing and a handful of mansions and towers. So now it's a three-way tie from what I can see. The latest polls show 36% to the party of Norvik, 20% to the Revolutionary Free Striders Party, 24% to the Asgal Workers' Party. At this rate, the green cause will win in the landside. Kin starts flipping through the rest of the pages. Right, woohoo! More experience for me! I can see that charisma, because charisma wants to play every political party to your own benefit. If you take any time someone's with one party and appeal to them by lying and saying you're also part of that party, you would build up a lot of experience points because you could get the biggest multiplier in every conversation. That's it, I guess, but interesting. What? No, I just realized there's no mention of the tea shop yet. Guess they're keeping it out of the news cycle. Who is? The city, I guess. That's all the news. You want more, you gotta buy one. Okay, bye. 5:33. We got like 27 more minutes. I really wish my mouth would stop hurting. I'm feeling like tightness in my neck. Ugh. Alright. I don't know how to get into the deep city yet. I assume I just can't yet. I think that's probably something I'm locked out of. Let's go in here and talk to the John Dark Souls that's sitting on the steps. Ooh. The election looms. 4 days remaining. Ah, that's my voting box. Something over here in the dirt. Let's grab that. Ah, Shard of Jor. I'll take that. A grand wooden carving of earth, father of Norvik. There's something written on the side. I want to go see what that is. Goblon was here. Ah, I see. You stare at the wondrous wooden carving. However, you notice a message carved into the base of the art piece. It was not the artist's intention. It says Goblon was here. Seems Goblon was at work again. Goblon was here. Let's hear the message. Vandalization. This happened because you are a weak man with a small member. No. My pingus isn't small. And the entire world will continue to degrade over the centuries because of it. And it's okay, it's just the way things are. Famous artist, that guy? Never seen him. You've definitely seen his work. No, I'm not small. I don't have a small member. If I met this Goblin fellow, I'd personally destroy him. Not a big deal. Doesn't matter. I don't have a small member. He's always small compared to those larger. You're so right, Strength. The competition never ends. I can glance at Snell and mutter that I'm average. Oh boy. The dick measuring competition? Yes. You should view it more as a metaphor. That's probably healthier. Why am I thinking about this? You're a man. You can't just not think about it. You're so right, Charisma. The phallic nature of the statue must invoke it. If you truly worry so much, there are potions and spells for this. Potion, any magical substance ingested for temporary effects. An esoteric man need not worry about physical matters. Anyway, you're focusing on this Goblin fellow. Not a big deal. Doesn't matter. Really? Contain your tears. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's an old monument. It's fine. Past is the past. He squints and nods slowly. Sure. Gablon is an artist. He's technically wanted in most districts, but no one knows if he's real. Might be a dozen little guys running around with paint and carving tools, who knows? What do you think about the statue of my gods now? Real human culture here. Humans sure do like their wooden stuff. Alright. Hey, John Dark Souls. Yeah, the duck. The duck. Look at that axe. A dark iron man, iron can of a man sits alone in the temple steps. Duck, a waterfowl common in the Ascani Lakes. Duck, nickname for the warrior who fell in honorable combat and then later revived. Sort of a synonym for coward, but not necessarily. Duck, many roam the Ascani. There are horrific legends told about the great evil ducks up in Toll's Pass. Any Earthguard member who slays such beasts is rewarded with the title of Duck Slayer. His face obscured, an axe strapped to his back. No, wrong. It is leaning on the steps. Thick axe, heavy. His armor is empty. Are you alive? His helmed head is slumped downward slightly. Is he asleep? He's not really here. Hello? No response. Hello? A metallic scraping noise fills your ears. The knight is moving ever so slightly. His head turns. Within the slits of his helmet, you see the faint shimmer of a bony face. Your name, soldier. His voice echoes out into the open chamber. Pure dread. What's wrong with you? I'm Ragan, arcane cleric at your service, my lord. I'm not a soldier. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. I am Ragan. This is going to be the first time I say my name. The knight's head slumps once again. Speak your mind, soldier. Who are you? Are you Lord Gorm? How do I open the gate down the stairs? Why are you loitering here? Whom do you serve? Where'd you get the cool armor? What do you know about the tea shop? What's with the mess? Point at the ballot boxes. Who are you? He's silent for a while. You feel a light breeze pass through your armor. A draft? Perhaps there's a secret door here somewhere. The duck. Excuse me? I am the duck. That's wild. Horrifying. You should be proud of your name. The knight does not respond. He does not wish to say it or more. Are you Lord Gorm? No. I see. I'm looking for Lord Gorm. Have you seen him? No. A truth. Okay, so wisdom says at the very least that he has not seen Lord Gorm. What is your name? What is your quest? What is the political affiliation of the seagull that's out on the coast? How do I open that gate down the stairs? I have the key. Oh, can I have it? No. You are too weak for that. Who is he to judge you? The city below is Dangarius. You should make sure to prepare properly before heading down there. Perhaps bring more spells. Perhaps make sure to recuperate enough for you to once again be able to cast higher tier spells. It's embarrassing you have not already returned to your former state of esoteric mastery. The city below is darkness incarnate. Do not tread without care. A warning from someone who with ages upon him. Why are you loitering here, knight? I am not. The cold voice echoes through the chamber. What are you doing then? I am on my off hours. He speaks as though he's reading from a script. You, like it here? No response. I too would like to hang on the steps of the temple. His helmet turns slightly. Can I hang out with you? Please? His helmet turns away. Some metallic creaking is all you hear from the night. Serve this man. Oh, that was... Sorry. Serve this man. Whom do you serve? I serve, he says, trailing off. Radiant. Yes? Once again, he turns to look at you, the darkness within his helmet seeming to reach out towards you. As if grabbing hold of the very air, you feel everything growing cold. His dark soul is reaching out. The creature before you is neither human nor alive. I serve nothing. As in like a tennis ball? Oh, I've gone too fast. Oh, yeah. Yes. Serving a tennis ball. Nah, this guy's more of a volleyball sort. I mean, look how sexy he's dressed. A lie and a truth at once. What do you know about the tea shop? Not much. He'll talk. Why? Not like you can threaten him exactly. Do you have any piece of info that would help me? Maybe a man dressed in yellow? He goes silent for a while. A man passed through the halls below. Civilians do not pass there. Past the crypt entrance, through the goblin's domain, into the southern caverns. Starnet witness updated. That's the flipped caverns where gravity is reversed, below the city ruins. What's past the crypts? The roots of the goblin tree. Then more tunnels, the southern tunnels. Then the sewers. How do I get there? There are paths. Most are trapped. Once you get there, the alligator might know more. His grounds are near. Alligator? His rage is endless. His appetite growing. Do not anger him. He won't speak more about this horrific creature. The knight looks down, waiting for your next question. How do I get to the city below? He pauses, as if thinking about your question. The goblins. Use their passage, below Viskin's lair. There are many ways down, but the passage in the chamber where you woke up, that would be a good place. That is the safest path. Oh, but that path is... The stairs is broken. A man? Dark hair, silk clothes, headwear, dressed in yellow. Sounds like a Rudesian nobility merchant type. Alright. That's great. Thank you, my good knight. Maybe if the alligator has lines and you don't use your little gator voice, you might write it. I'll try to remember. Excuse me. He is quiet. He has been ordered to answer your questions. This feels forced. Where were you at noon on the 21st? Below. Okay, below. Can you elaborate? The walls shook in the crypts. I was on patrol. I was not in position to perceive any misdoings. There are thousands of tombs and crypts scattered below this ancient metropolis. The city below is endless, and most of it stands unexplored to this day. Okay. What are you patrolling for? He is silent and still for a moment. I have my purpose. As do you, soldier. Do not pry too deep. Noted. He places an iron hand on his knee, waiting for the next question. Did you see anything suspicious before the explosion? No. Okay. I trust him. Alright. Out we go. It is now 6 p.m. So, the things should be happening. The occurrences. Let's check here first. Okay. So that's been updated. That's been updated. So these guys both were heading below. And I need to talk to Darrow tonight. Need to fix my book. Class conflict. Very opinionated. Now use your time to choose a path. Cleric, rogue, wizard, or something else. You said yourself cleric of Norvik 3 times. It's the grand title. Suitable for a true human cleric like yourself. After showing your primal attunement, you're now ready to call yourself an aspiring druid. Time will tell if this path is in any way interesting to you by telling folks about it 2 times. The 6th edition, which is in the city below. So eventually I'm going to need to go down and do questing. We got a missing paladin. Lord Gorm has gone missing. We now know about the Copper Press as a spin-off of these things. Okay. Alright. Let's zoom back out. What's the easiest way for me to get back? Doot, doot, doot. Boom, 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 boom. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. The goblins are all cleared out. He's gone. This is still happening. Alright. Cut through goblin lands. Get out of here, bug. Got it. Fucking gnats. I don't think there's anything new here in Goblin Land. To the river. That's where I want to go. Oop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Making my way upstairs.
I'm gonna spook the skunk now.
No, no. Don't power me off. Illegal. Alright. We got this business going on. Well, here's our green lady and shy dwarf and friend from earlier. Yeah, young Asgul Modisa, who I rolled very poorly to behold. Rest first. Okay. Royo Malak. Well, I got a little bit. Human Earthfolk, Next Generation, a late-stage teenager representing all young men among the Earthfolk. Ah, and so therefore a fascist. Okay, let's get involved. Tense scene. Oh, a cleric, just in time. 4 young guys, each looking a bit nervous. Except the angry-looking blonde kid. We've confiscated the illegal goods, he says and bows his head. For the city. He turns his head towards one of the kids behind him. How's it going, Earth niece? I'm trying, hold on. Point at the lanky kid trying to cast a cantrip. Hey, cut it out. He freezes and gives the blonde kid a nervous look. Sorry, cleric. You see Royo waving towards him, a gesture for him to ignore your comment. I'm Royo, the blonde kid says and takes a bow. Royo Malak, at your service. Behind me is Earth Niece, Stenbuskin, and Tolly. We're members of the Norvikian Resistance, a movement to... You're thieves and ignorant book burners. The girl adjusts her spectacles and straightens her back. With all due respect, Mr. Cleric, she says, don't believe a word of these thugs. You notice the two other girls behind her, a halfling and a dwarf, both look at each other. Assholes! Careful, it's an actual cleric. Thugs? Come on, Medusa, really? Like the AY aren't a bunch of ruffians? Oh, I've seen enough, the goblin whispers to you and sighs. Just activists clashing. Asks Snell. The AY? Asgalist youths. See a green armband? I'm just confused. Is there a problem here? Problem's taken care of, Lord Cleric. Oh, fuck off. They've stolen, she hisses, then turns to Royo to bark out. You stole our entire water lane delivery. Yeah, sure, of an illegal newspaper. Lord Cleric, I assure you, we're doing the city a favor here. I take it back, it's a bunch of LARPers. Alright, what's a LARPer in this world? LARPer, an insult, meaning someone who's delusional and role-plays themselves into a position of power or importance, based on LARP, meaning life-acting role-playing. I see it's a lover's quarrel. Oh, jeez. Lord Cleric, I'm the Lord Cleric. Wait, no. I need to correct something here. I'm not actually a cleric. I'm sensing a conflict here. Are you kids allowed to be out this late? Okay, I'm sensing a conflict here. You're here to uphold the law, right? So arrest these assholes. Now. The dwarf grabs her hand and holds her back. Medusa, calm down, please. Point at Azgal girl. You, explain your side. She scoffs. Okay, fine. Her dwarven friend mutters, Medusa, in a concerned tone. Her friends are trying to keep her from being too brazen. Why? If they're in the right, they should be brazen. Copper Press Fever added. We deliver newspapers for the Asgalian chant. Maybe you've heard of it. It's a pretty big deal. Snell chuckles. The paper's not terribly popular, but it is known for radical articles and political stances. She draws a sharp breath. We have a busy schedule, and right as we started delivering the papers to Waterlane, these pieces of shit started following us. Taking papers we've just delivered right out of people's mailboxes. That's illegal, right? Says the halfling girl. Highly illegal. That is theft and interfering with the mail, which is a federal offense. Of course it's illegal. And then they grab one of the paper stacks from Zerba, like straight up assault and theft, and this wasn't... They can't get away with this. It probably was not that bad. Poor girl. Point at nationalist boy. Okay, you, what's your going on here? First of all, thanks for listening to Reason. Oh, I'm going to strangle him. I know we look like some dumb kids, but we're not. Something about his expression makes you think the exact opposite. Burning the written word does nothing to dispel such a notion. He gestures towards you and then to himself. We're on the same team here. I don't look dumb, he says, looking dumb. Give him a hug. Stop stalling. Tell me what you're doing here. So, we heard about the Asgal chant being delivered to Tolstad. Or I did, at the guild. I work at the fishery, and I see every day how Earthfolk get radicalized by dwarven nonsense. So I figured I'd get the boys with me and we'd, you know, put a stop to it. Through violence and terror. We, couldn't figure out where the thing was printed or anything. A lot of copper press zines don't really have official companies behind them. Especially trash like the chant, you hear coming from the short kid in the back. Go fuck yourself, Tolly. Hey, relax. I'm telling our story here, to the good Lord Cleric. Turns back to you and coughs once. Of course, it's illegal to distribute unlicensed papers in every official district, so I ask around. Apparently someone saw these girls at the university going around delivering it. You are extremely dumb kids, If you care about legality, then you shouldn't be doing vigilanteism. It wasn't that difficult to figure it out. It was Medusa doing the deliveries. Fucking Medusa. She died out to do that, the large kid in the back says with a nod. Wait, you guys know each other? There's history here? Yeah. Back in high school, everyone knew who Medusa was. Yeah, it's a annoyance, the blonde kid says with a grin. Such a terrible nickname. Unimaginative and boring. Also, fuck you. I love her. They had break. Curses. Oh, we got 5 more minutes. Anyway, that's how we got here. They're delivering an illegal magazine and we've put a stop to it. He grins wide and proud. Were you guys voting in the election? Not the time, Snell says, rubbing his eyes. The Workers' Party, she says. Duh. Same for me. The dwarf raises her hand carefully. Yeah. And these stupid boys are obviously voting for the party of Norvik. No, we're not. None of us are. Yeah, fuck that. What? Yeah, no. The silent kid at the back raises his fist in the air. Fuck the establishment. Royo nods to the cleric. There are deeper forces at work here. Divine forces. I see. So you're also voting Asglis then? Same. What? No! Well, you're not voting for anything. You argue the talking points of Asglis with ease. Tons of experience points. Indeed. We're not voting at all. Not a bad choice considering this mess. What? If you don't engage with democracy, the bad guy wins. I mean, I don't agree with this, but being apolitical is bad. So, I could just say fair. I'm just going to say, very stuck between these two because neither of them express how I feel about it. If you don't engage with democracy, the bad guy wins. I mean, for the first election ever, I feel like people should probably vote more. We, the blonde kid says, gesturing to his 3 friends, we're fighting the evil powers, ready to establish a true resistance to anti-human sentiments. For Earth. The girl with the creased brow sighs loudly. Take my god out of your mouth, kid. I'm going to say interesting sentiment. Yeah. And what does the law say about this conflict? The Asgard chant, or whatever silly name its anonymous publishers gave it, is not licensed for distribution in Tolstad. Requiring licenses for public distribution is a typical method to repress journalistic intents in Norvik. At the same time, it's also illegal to steal delivered newspapers from mailboxes, even if those papers are delivered illegally. Both are in the wrong. In different ways, yes. Although it's clear that the boys are bullies and the girls are victims. Okay, I've come to a conclusion. Good, the girl says and nods. She's hiding a nervous expression. Great, good. He's outwardly very nervous. Approach the blonde kid and see if you can get these nationalists to back off. Hey! He stares at you, trying to regain his composure. He is terrified. You're frustrated already. You're likely you're likely to take it out on both sides if you fail at getting them to give back the papers. Beware. You've come to a conclusion. Leaves. Alright, I'm going to try to lower this strength DC because my strength is ass. But we've got ads coming in, so I'm going to do that first. Also, hi, Mazel. Bye, Mazel. Alright, welcome back, everybody. I got a message from Hildy. Apparently, she and Simple Square, who we've raided once before and has shown up here once, and then a third friend of theirs want to do Lego Party, which I think is just Mario Party with Lego, sometime in the near future. So we might be doing that as a collab sometime soon. I'll have to chat with them soon. A tortilla chip almost killed you? No! Whoa! Be careful. Alright. He is terrified, so if I scare him enough... Advantage, Snell's presence calms you. -5 DC. You spoke with Royo's younger brother. Advantage does make that a little bit better. Oh, squats. Okay, hold on. Advantage does make that easier, but we're going to see if we can get that even lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. Stare at him. His pores are sweating. This kid's horrified by your helmed presence. Are you good? He looks away and then at you. I'm good. For what? The large boy asks. No, just good, like a good person. Oh, makes sense. Wag my finger in his face. He flinches. Well... More? Okay. Been saving to make skunk exercise. Thank you, and Raleigh. Thank you, Mazel. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I'm tempted to save scum. Alright, so this is actually a DC 11, which means with advantage, I should get it, but here we go. Whew, by the skin of our teeth. Puff out your chest, take a deep breath. Place a hand on his shoulder. Your gloved hand grabs him firmly, and he gives you a freaked out expression. Kid, give back the papers. He mutters, trying to form an argument. Nope, stay quiet. He glares at you. Give back the papers. Glances away from you. You can see his mind working behind those wide eyes. Then he slowly nods. Royo snatches up the stack of papers and tosses them over to Medusa. She catches them with an ugh, accompanied by a foul expression. Grumbling, the boys then leave the water lane. Gods be damned. The three girls collect themselves for a second. Shit. Yeah. Wow, that was scary. Mr. Cleric, huh? Thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot. Great, now fuck off as well and stop delivering the paper. It's genuinely very illegal. Your cause is good. Keep at it. Will do. And if you want to help out, come to Simi's apartment in the Holes. Hey, nice. As long as you're a friend, you'll be welcomed. Within a minute, they're dispersed, leaving Waterline a bit less rowdy than before. I'd say that was really the right choice, even if those girls seem shady as well. Let's get out of here. Time to leave. Alright. So, we've handled that. Took a half hour. But now, we should be able to go to a lot more locations. Who are you? Dwarf gazes across the dockyard. But they're not a full person. Interesting. Cleric, sorry, I'm busy. They groan in the bells of Waterlane. Interesting. Alright, well, the Reed and Mead. You approach the door. Bookbinder, you got business here? Of course I do. I have a deep love for books now. That's fun. Didn't expect that, considering everything. I'm not a big reader myself, but I indulge occasionally. He sounds surprised. That's rude. Very rude! What? Did you think I don't like books? I'm a professional and highly esoterically minded cleric. Of course I like books. Be offended. What kind of wizard would dislike books? Be a wizard. The two genders. Be offended and be a wizard. Rogue. I love how it's just there for you to say rogue more. Very, very much rogue / capitalist behavior. Just maxing your number without actually caring. Moves very rude. No, I'm not offended. Druids sometimes read books, if they're rough looking enough. Or is it rude to read on the corpse of a tree? I wish there was a your stuff is still illegal, but without a you should stop attached. You can say that. I can get where you're coming from, Inworth. Also, hi Inworth, how you been? You can be non-binary and be a druid. Mm-hmm. All right, well, this one's the only one that's where I want to be. So I don't know, cleric. He groans. He sounds like it. His sounds make it clear that he's tired of you talking about druidic things, despite the fact that he should celebrate your passionate love for nature. Well, maybe don't just stand there talking in front of a shop. You knocking, we leaving. Knocky knock. Within a second of the knock, a slit in the door slides open. Beyond, you see a pair of large yellow eyes glaring at you. Shen Yelan, bookbinder. They had like an owl voice. Hey-ho. Bird! Bird! Thank you, Constitution. You really are the voice in the walls, seeing the bird on the other side of the door. Is this pest control? The eyes quickly tilt to the left. No. Oh! The eyes push closer to the slit in the door. As they do, a bush of gray feathers pokes out. A bird folk. Thanks, intelligence. Constitution told me that a minute ago. A cleric? No, I'm a wizard. No, I'm a rogue. Yeah, duh. The birdman behind the door ruffles his feathers. Growing pull towards being a cleric. I mean, sure, I'm that's basically what I am. Shen Yelan is my name. If you are not pest control, I need nothing from you. Please leave. I have a ruined prayer book. Can you fix it? Prayer book? Yes, I have seen quite a few. Drop inside. I will check a look. Drop it in. Yes. Horrible. Salt water. That's swollen. You could have avoided the worst of this if the drying process had been handled better. I will rebind this foul mess for you. Great, thanks. Turn to leave. One more thing. Before you run off, I will need guidance on the direction of the reminding. The spells inside are lost, however the style and formatting can be saved. Using my skills, I will aim at something from the towers, which would be the most similar to the original work. I could also focus on rebinding it in the style of Druidic Ledger, or perhaps as a grimoire of the dark and forbidden arts. Forbidden magic, isn't that illegal? You know Druidic stuff. Have you worked on many clerical tools? Just make it as well as you can with the original intention in mind. Intelligence upgrade. Make it a Druidic Ledger Wisdom upgrade. Forbidden magic Charisma upgrade. You know Druidic stuff. I have many customers, including various druids of the city. They have an aversion to modern practices themselves. Hence, my services are well appreciated. Yeah, make it a Druidic Ledger. That I will do. Return tomorrow. Not while the sun rises. I am either resting or working intently during those hours. Sun, the light of day. The great source of power that moves across the sky over the day. Follows a different pattern of movements in each band and with different intensities. In Scani it is small and moves very quickly. Anything else you want? Or will you leave me to work? Why do you need help from Pest Control Guild? Rats! They are awful. Keep spawning out of sewer pipes. Yeah, the PCG should really take care of that. Yes! Lets out an angry bird noise. But that bastard guild leader Torlim Slip keeps telling me they don't have time. No time? They have time. They have dozen teams running around the city. No time. I've heard the big problem is that they cannot get anyone to do pest control missions at 1-star levels. The PCG has a ranking system based on the danger of any particular pests they handle. Of course, rats would be a 1-star problem. The halfways, we haven't relied on the PCG for years. They just don't have time for anything under a 2-star danger rating. It is very annoying. I have looked into it, and the problem is pest control teams that join the guild only take on 1-star missions for a couple of weeks. Then they start quickly focusing only on higher paying tasks, and all the actual normal pests keep on spreading throughout the city. It is a ridiculous, idiotic system. So while all the mimics and monsters keep getting slayed, nothing's done about the darn rats. Mimic, a horrifying shape-shifting monster, capable of copying the look of any object it discovers, although with some size limitations, depending on the type. If you touch it, you'll get eaten, or you'll get stuck and probably eaten. The Pest Control Guild uses a legendarily poor design. Bird takes a few breaths after his rant. Worst part, my nephew has team himself. The White Doves, they are called. And I've tried sending message to him also, but he just says the same thing. Too busy, too busy. Tell me more about your nephew. He calls himself Valerian Windrider. That is the Norvikian way of saying his name. He is also within the Freestrider party, if you're interested in throwing a vote for one of my fellow Alkian. He works with one of those filthy Yobis, which I'm not happy about. Oh, and a halfling, a cleric, in fact, of the Lady Fair Church. I've heard of that church, over in Housing, right? That's the one. I think they're connected with an orphanage. I could take a look at it. It does sound like a quest. If you do, I would be very happy. The rats seem to come from sewers connected to a city below. Good luck with that. Thank you. Want to get a drink at the tavern later? No. So stern. Are you a scholar? Oh, you are interested in the arts. Kind of my job. I'd love to hear more about you, and Alkin and Norvik is not so common. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about you. I was trained in the knowledge back in Three Wings. I know many things. Three Wings, the name of the birdfolk tribes which ruled the far inland of Divini Torum. They unified 57 years ago and created a sovereignty based on Asgalian ideas. They were subjugated by the Golden Horde 32 years ago. But no time to talk or share. Busy. If you want scholarly teachings, go speak with my upstairs neighbor. Gnome never stops talking. Oh, Snur? He's not a gnome, he's a halfling. You know him. Good. And I will not learn the difference between gnomes and halflings, for the same reason you people call my kind bird folk, clumping us together with the foul feathers of the darker bands. Racism. Sounds kind of petty. Yes, it is. Oh, okay. What was this place again? Ah, the trading company. Blech. Okay, so now is 6:55. I think it's 8 o'clock that the the bar opens, and not until midnight that I'm able to talk to Darrow. I can go to Sneeze house now. The dormitory. I believe Sneeze house was around here somewhere. Yes, or Simi, that's it. Can't do that. Maybe I got it mixed up in my head. Similar names or something. Alright. Take root. What does that mean? Trouble brewing. Young woman running around the streets, slinging Asgulus propaganda to unsuspecting citizens. Boys causing chaos in the name of some hapless magazine-inspired rebellion. This cannot be tolerated. Is this our, like, have a thought? It can be. What? It can be tolerated. It's just some kids. The youth are attempting to get political. They're learning as they go. Yeah. That kind of looseness will bring order to its knees. It's all The Asgal youth did nothing to warrant such pushback. This era is one of communication, ideas, interchanged freely between a populace of free-minded thinkers, folk dreaming of an egalitarian potential. However, the problem lies with the unfortunates who break and sear folkarian thought with reckless unkindness. You must pray for them, beg of them, to please stop being so mean. Do you really think that would work? Appealing to their better nature, great idea. Sarcastic. And appealing to their better nature, great idea. Not sarcastic. Do you really think that could work? One can wish. These boys might be unkempt and rough, but they're proud citizens of the city. They are performing a service, albeit a cruel one beyond the realm of law. But the youth Asgals, they are even more unlawful, to a much steeper degree. How do you calculate degree of unlawfulness? Steeper. That's true. In a battle between lawfulness and disorder, those book-burning boys clearly come out on top. The Asgal girls were just doing a technically criminal crime. The boys were doing multiple literal, actual fire-related crimes. Yeah. It's a morality issue, not a legality issue. You weigh morality upon the shoulders of ideology in this case. You see that, do you not? The only shoulders being weighed upon here are your manly, bulging, muscular traps. What has happened here is a complication upon society, a representation of the wider culture. Young men are drawn towards the rough, downtrodden world of the dreamers, the hope of national unity through a Earthian story, one of leadership and honor. But without that guiding star, there is no such singularity, no control, no wise king to bend the knee to. Instead, these boys are simply expressing pain through violence, enacted onto those who are attempting to craft a more caring future, that is, young women. They, as opposed to young men, are drawn towards a more social type of unity, with welfare and Asgalian flattened hierarchical structures. Beyond Asgal himself, who is by his function also a male figure, it is to womanly people you shall look towards. Lady Fair is one. The halfling god? Yes, Lady Fair and those not, the walking god who gave everything to save her people. Lady Fair and those not, a young halfling leads her clan through a mountain pass and defends it for 3 days and 3 nights. She is known to be responsible for the founding of Fordnip Commonwealth. Fordnip Commonwealth, the unified states of halfling lands in western Ascan, also known as the Clan's lands. They were allies of Norvik in the early days of the conquest. Today the relationship is strained, after Norvik refused to aid them against the Golden Horde. Her words are few, but spread far across the coast. Her church is quite active among Norvikian society as an organization of charity, one open to all folk no matter their origin. An egalitarian dream. This is why women, as harsh as it is to say, are simply more suited for Norvikian leadership. Lady Fair makes it clear. A house held by women stands any season. Interesting. So, while I agree that men, especially young men, are more predisposed to being taken advantage of by fascistic leadership, I don't like emphasizing the idea that that means that women are inherently better to be politicians or anything like that. Because that's not egalitarian. Trying to achieve egalitarianism by saying we're better for the job is not a good way to handle it. All right, let's see what my responses are. I agree. Women clearly build a more thoughtful and caring world for us. Feel like a good man for thinking such egalitarian things. But I want to lead in the future, and I'm not a woman. Does that mean, good, I have no interest in the future and or any type of leadership? I want to stay in the darkness and wither away. I feel like there should be some middle ground here. What about a house held by a person never falls? That's catchy, right? So much for wisdom. I didn't actually succeed a check here. This is just wisdom speaking to me. And wisdom has been wrong. Yeah. I don't like this first option. That's all you meant? Yeah. Yeah. Let's go with this one, I think. There's something so powerful about dreams. And this is the, speaking of dreams, this is what we were talking about earlier with Sneef. I forget his name. The halfling. How there is a dream that is a fight between masculinity and femininity. Ideas spreading from man to woman, woman to man. But the Asgalian dream is not a blessing. It is a smile wrought in pain, a vision of 1,000 layers of intersected nets and labels, tangling every person, ensnaring them into oppressor and oppressed. And there is oppression. There are unfair hierarchies. The world is corrupt. But not fundamentally. If these boys are pushing back against Asgalism, that is only natural. It is an ideology which pushes a foundational belief that they are, naturally, oppressively superior. If a young man grows up in squalor, finding zero advantages from him being a man among patriarchs, nor any power from being a human, especially if he grows up within non-human clusters, something many of the poorest humans do. When he's unable to find a job at age 19, he has almost no political, societal, or economical power in his life. Which dream do you think he would believe in? The one calling him to fight to reclaim what was his by right, a good life as a future patriarch, one calling him an oppressor? It is not calling him an oppressor. That is an unfair reading. Asgalism is about systemic change. That young man is trapped in the same cycle of violence that all men find themselves since the dawn of time, that he must fight, that he must be a patriarch to have a good life. Asgalism would lay the foundation that allows him to be free of these burdens. He would be free to find that job, that good life, with the same prospects as everyone else. That foundation is laid by raising women to the forefront, by allowing them to flatten out hierarchies and bring about a new world. Alright, what do we have to say now as options? I suppose if a man already has it pretty terrible in a world where he's supposed to be on top, then a world where his advantages are gone would seem even worse. I'm sure there's a female perspective here somewhere as well, but I've only really read about that in Mom's books. Seems to me like it's more of a branding issue. The Asgalists need to be more in tune with the economic aspect of intersectionality. They're clearly losing out a lot on a ton of angry book-burning boys. Look, I just want what's best for women. No, I don't care about men or women. I'm an equal hater. We all suck. Okay. Which of these options? We need to flatten out hierarchies for sure. And we don't want to enable fascist tendencies in men. I do like this conversation. I do think this is a very good conversation between strength and wisdom. It is a good conversation about why disadvantaged young men tend to lean fascistic, or at the very least to a return to the status or return to the past. They long for this idealized version of the 1950s that didn't even exist. One is just me saying I understand the argument, but it kind of leads more credence towards strength point of view, which I understand where strength is coming from, but I don't agree with it. 3 is accurate. It is a branding issue. One of the left's biggest issues. There's the ongoing speak about leftist infighting that Disco Elysium also touched on is that we're very fervent in our beliefs in such a way that small differences between us can lead to infighting. And at times we can struggle to have a strong brand, a strong thing. We don't have a king to rally around. And that's why the right can maintain power so easily is they've got religion. They've got great man theory. They've got things that they can rally around to stay on one path that unites what would be slightly disparate political beliefs under a heraldry. So yeah, branding could make us more appealing, but we're uniquely disadvantaged in that regard. 3 feels the most correct in this context. 3 feels the most correct, but it's missing an aspect. 2, the only reason I consider 2 is 2 feels like I'm buying time. 2 is like I please tell me more. Please keep talking. So I think I will go with 3 to be saying something and not to just be spinning the wheel, as it were. Seems to me like it's more of a branding issue. The Asgilists need to be more in tune with the economic aspect of intersectionality. They're clearly losing out on a ton of angry brook-burning boys. I do think that ultimately has a good message of we need to meet them at their level to a certain degree. We need to acknowledge the problems that they are having. That is an argument, but it does not change the core values. You need to come to that realization that the one every boy reaches towards the late stage of their capitalistic, puberistic, and socialistic awakenings that, no, not at all. It is only your placement where you must understand. Figure out where you've planted these 2 feet and accept where your bones will begin their incessantly slowish grind into the pavement. One disadvantage of this game and Disco Elysium is we are playing a male protagonist who is at a moment of decision making, which makes this game and Disco Elysium great starting points to moving to a political education. However, I'm trans and already quite politically aware, which does make it a little hard at times for me in this and Disco Elysium of like I need to acknowledge that I'm currently playing a character who is a man who is struggling with their current ideas and their fragile masculinity. All right. Learn more. Steel yourself. Seek love. Be more. Realize your place in the world. Suddenly understand gender. No, I failed it. No. This is far more complicated than you ever could have imagined. So many relations, so many intersectional divergences. How a man who feels feminine connects in the hierarchy with a woman who feels womanly but acts manly in order to fit among patriarchal standards, only to be controlled by a manly woman who seeks feminine ideals in order to break those same standards. It is simply too much for you to make sense of, to break down, to sample even an inch of the truth from the whole. No one said the whole egalitarian dream was going to be easy. I don't understand Ginder. I don't get it. Ginder is when I get big titties and big penis. That is true. But this is far too much for you, right now at least. Maybe it is only your side of the aisle which you have any hope of understanding this day. To know man in order to know woman. Then, yes, everyone lay upon your spectrum, each judged for their perceived and internalized values. You are approximately 0.52 decimals across the line into masculinity. That is, in a less abstract definition, a little over halfway to being a full man. Sorry, what? Slightly over halfway, yes. Yeah, that seems about right. It's not ideal. I can deal with that. Of course you can. You're a man, a real man. The average man, if you think back to your ability to sniff out manhood, usually is placed around 0.50 decimals of masculinity. That makes you 0.02 more man than the average man. That's not halfway then. Halfway to being most manly, yes. You're approximately averagely decently middle ground manly. A normal-sized manhood inside of a perfectly median-shaped manle. Inside? Inside. Your manhood. Inside you. Doesn't manhood mean you know? What are you speaking of? Genitalia? Oh. No. Manhood is a concept, an idea, a feeling of masculinity hidden within your body. It's not an actual thing. That would be ridiculous. Are you sure about that? Of course. Now, you will choose. What? You know the truth, so choose a side. Tell me more about Lady Fair. Tell me more about future patriarch. Which side should I choose? Like, which one would be the most useful? What does feminine and masculine mean in this context? Manhood is stored in the balls. Oh, of course. Of course. That's why I need to get rid of mine. What does feminine and masculine mean in this context? It means where the target land on Joel's gender spectrum. They will always be on one side of the esoterically decided middle point. If you disagree with that judgment, take it up with Joel. This is a probable outcome, yes. But do not always assume the gender placement of a target. The world is often more complicated than you initially imagine. Well, I don't need to hear more about stuff. I'm ready to make a decision. Do so. Stand tall. Do not be afraid. Pick Lady Fair. It is done. The feminine has entered into your body, your soul, your blood. Be kind to all. Be slightly less confused about gender. Yay! Dusk. Oh, wow, that took time. Young and dumb, Lady Fair, extra proficiency in roles when speaking with feminine characters. Oh, okay, I see. So based on which way I went with that conversation, I would have a bonus versus men or versus women. Panic at the Disco Elysium? Hell yeah. Welcome in, Coderick. Or CEO Derek. Let me know how you'd like that pronounced. Welcome in. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. All right. Interesting. So this one's completed, but I don't actually get a quest out of them. Anything but late for dinner? Hey, you got it. Dinner. I'm hungry. About 20 minutes to end the stream, and then I can make myself some food. All right. So it is dusk now. Was there anything else that happened at dusk? I'm trying to remember. Well, waiting for this silly monkey men fight at the White House. Oh, woo, hey, hello. Oh, we're being attacked by a thief. Oh, the UFC thingy. That's right. Interesting. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. It's a weird choice. Your muscles tense up. A face of iron appears from nothing. You hear the goblin say something to you. Dagger. Doesn't need to raise his voice. You know the gravity of the word. Pain incoming. Dexterity check. Roll for initiative. If they were real fighters, they'd do nipple twists. Ah, and wet willies, no doubt. Ooh, well, I'm not going first. Blood pumping. All of you, ready for death. Huh? Be last in initiative. Hell yeah. Snell gets ready to act. His eyes quickly assess the situation. The goblin gets a hold of your garments and pulls you aside. In one fast hug, he's managed to move you a bit to the side. Not much, but it is enough to save you from the blade? Let's hope so. The masked one is ready. The masked one immediately rushes forwards, the sharp dagger thrust towards the target. Wet Willie of Doom. You all remember the quote-unquote Indian burn? Yeah, we need a new name for that. I remember that being a thing, but certainly needs a new name. My only child violence that I did a bunch of, though, was Slugbug. Slugbug's always going to be the best because you get to shout the color. Slugbug is optimal. I learned there are variations of it around the world that aren't Volkswagen based. They're based on either other cars or specific colors of cars. It's very neat. Beverwhack? Never heard of that one. The masked one immediately rushes forward and a sharp dagger thrusts in towards its target. Fortunately, the target, you, has been pulled aside by Snell. The dagger misses you by an inch. Cleric, wake the fuck up. Oh, Beaverwhack? Sorry, Big Thumbs. No worries, I can't fucking type on a phone for anything myself. I have not heard of Beaverwhack either. Can't you ask him to put the blade away? Take a deep breath. Get it together. Is this some kind of encounter? You better make sure. Look at Snell. Wait, what's going on here? Try to counterattack. I will fail. Attempt to gain composure. Alright. Let's go, Constitution. You know those cards that have wood on them? Oh! So you do it like for a car with wood grain sides. I honestly, it might be. I know some people think it's tacky, but I really like a car with wood grain sides. I really tried to convince my dad to get me an AMC Eagle to be my first car that had wood grain sides, but we ended up going with something else. Have you ever seen one you say Beaverwhack, no punchback? Neat. Never heard that one as a kid, but that is fun. All right, let's regain composure. No! Yes! I don't know why I got an extra +2, but I'll take it. A deep breath. You close your eyes. It feels like a minute, but with your body's current bioperception, there is no doubt it has only been a few split seconds. You an ADHD queen as well? I'm actually not sure. My brothers both have ADHD. I should probably get diagnosed at some point. But I just like to be very attentive to chat. I like to make sure that I'm responding to everything that's getting said. Yours is bad? That's fair. Well, I hope you can get something to help you with it. If not medication, then at least compassionate friends and family. My brothers are both pretty bad. My younger brother has ADHD, ADHD. He's got autism as well, with a nervous tic. And my youngest brother has ADHD, more severe autism. He's like, he's not non-functioning, but he's definitely like, he can't work, kind of thing. He's got that much of a social block, his own ADHD, and so it seems very likely, based on some of my own things, that I've also got it. I just was able to mask pretty well in high school. Sorry for keeping me from the game? Nah, not at all. Not at all. If I wanted to push forwards, I promise I would. It's okay, our stomach has slowed down time. You like to talk a lot, so feel free to ignore you. It's all good. I've enjoyed the conversation. Thanks for being here. I missed. Did you say how to pronounce your name? Oh no, you didn't. You made a joke. That's right.
C0 Derek just followed.
Well, thank you for the follow. As a follower, you're an official punk, which means you're an official badass. Good to have you here. Code Rick. All right, you got it, Code Rick. Welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Care package from Moselle. Thank you for the care package, Moselle. All right. Let's get down to business. Now we're ready to strike. After the initial attack, the masked one goes in for another attempt. Your goblin companion jolts his arm to the side, and a thick string appears out of his sleeve. It's a long woven cord with a pouch at its center, along with an iron ball. Aw, oh, hell yeah, get him, Snell! Yeah! A loud thud explodes from the lower left hip of the masked one. Ugh! He squeaks. Despite the damage taken to his body, you can hear him grunting and pulling himself together. Once again, the masked one lunges forward. The dagger is now aimed at your vitals. This will not break you. His movements, they are desperate. The masked one does not do this out of devotion. It is fear. Cleric, look out! The dagger hits. Holy shit! Well, I almost died. That was a lot of damage for a dagger, and I nearly failed several back-to-back saves. Right below your neck artery. The shock sends a shiver through your system. The complicated shock of both being aware of a sharp object piercing your skin while also not feeling any pain is strange. Fuck! You hear a weak voice behind the mask. His breath is short and strained. This will not continue for much longer. The fool will run away. You must stop him. Daggers are extremely dangerous? Yeah, but traditionally in Dungeons and Dragons, they deal as a D4 plus strength. I guess maybe he had sneak attack damage on me. The goblin's bullet must have staggered him. This is your chance. Check your wound. Punch the attacker. +1, you're exhausted. +1, you got stabbed. -6, you found your composure. Advantage, staggered by the bullet. I don't think I got that. +1, you're exhausted. +2, you got stabbed. Advantage, you found your composure. Come up with an apprehensive plan. There we go. Spending a few seconds actually thinking about it, you realize what this is. A quick hit. The guy will run away, so you should prepare. I'll strike when he tries to get away. Just so. The masked one seeks your death, but not a real fight. They will not seek further violence today. It's over! After an impressive display with his sling, the goblin rushes forward to try and grab one of the masked one's legs. You're not getting away, asshole! The masked one immediately starts sprinting away. A fight that is over need not be fought. Chase him down. Snell's grabbing his leg. You've prepared for this. Staggered by the bullet. Found your composure. But you're exhausted and you got stabbed. Alright. 50-50 shot, but we have advantage, which I think makes us 75% shot. Yeah, we did it. Lady Fair activate. Oh, this is a lady. That's why we're getting bonus +2. You rush after the masked one. Once you manage to grab an arm, it doesn't take long to pin him to the ground. He's struggling. Careful, he might get loose. Ugh. A tingle. An esoteric tingle. Something magical. Magic? Oh, you need to. The goblin rushes after you, yelling, Get him! Who are you? Who sent you? Grab the mask. Intelligence, you were a little slow there. But I'm going to grab the mask. As your hand gets it, you sense the intense esoteric energy surrounding it. Cool? Isami? Udami? In an instant, the masked one is gone. What? Look around. The goblin looks around. Invisible? He swings his head around as if fighting the air. But you had him. Shit! Was that teleportation? Most likely. There was something magical about him, I think. It's a lady! I know it's a lady! Did specify feminine and not specifically women? True. I'm using feminine... I guess I'm using feminine pronouns here. Yeah. Could be a man who is effete, so that's fair. We might have some masculine ladies later for which our role won't work. We'll have to see how that goes. The game has said him a few times, yes, but I think that's supposed to be the game deceiving us if we hadn't made this conclusion. If we're operating under D&D logic and this is a rogue, then their whole thing is doing one huge sneak attack, yeah. There was something magical about him, I think. Snell rubs his chin. Someone wants us dead, and they got very close. Or you, more likely. Wait, why me? Snell shrugs. Looked a bit high-tech for a goblin mugger, he says as he wipes the dirt off his pants. Way too esoterically equipped. For sure. And I didn't exactly get targeted either, so I think you've got a magical maniac after you. Sorry to say. Adrenaline wearing off. Beware. Everything's a bit wobbly. Oh boy. Cleric, do you need any? He motions towards his neck. The location in which you were stabbed. Feel your neck. You press your hand against your neck, right where the blade hit. The area hurts, but more importantly, it's not wet. You will live. I'm fine. He got my armor. Really? Yep. Adrenaline's fading. You feel dazed. In D&D, you play an exceptional person, not gestures vaguely at the cleric. So true. Aren't you lucky, he says, taking a deep breath. Guess we're going to need it. If someone's sending assassins after us. Even incompetent ones like that. Why would an assassin be after you? This warrants an investigation. This bloodlust is something deeper. A devotion. What have you disturbed? That mask was weird. Yep. Gave me the creeps just thinking about it. Looked like some old ceremonial thing. Religious rites, sacrifices, cults? Cultists? These days, evil cults aren't a thing in Norvik. Gives you a snide smirk, if you believe the magistrates. He's implying there is a world underneath the city city officials do not know or care for. The city under the city. Love that place. Could be connected with something below. He snaps his fingers. We should go ask Snur, your new scholarly friend. He might know a thing or two about cults. Who do you think actually sent that guy? No clue. Truth, the goblin knows nothing. Let's hope they're as bad at their jobs as the guy was at his. Why attack us? Great question. My initial guess, an enemy of Sage Thief. He furrows his brow. Won't let an insult slide like that. Perhaps it has to do with your supposed tumble in the river. Surely it must. The goblin's problem, or yours? Death follows you, cleric. Glance down into the abyss and move on. The ambient groan of Norvik's red rocks echoes below. The river coursing around you, hugging you. Look down. Cult hit update. Glare into the darkness. But you will see nothing down there. Ah, and I can't re-roll it. Your companion clicks his tongue. Fuck this. Fuck this. They can't get away with that. Not on our streets. Look into his eyes and give him a nod. He nods back. You stood your ground. 30 XP, nice. I'm very close to a level up. Somehow, you live to tell the tale. This attack was coordinated. Not very effectively, but nonetheless planned. There will be more coming. The mask, it has a meaning. You need to uncover it. Snell checks around the crossing, a weary scowl on his face. Let's get out of here. No, let's get out of here. Yeah. Okay. So I could cure light wounds to heal myself. Spend 1 hour to recover. Oof. But that'll unlock my dice checks and get rid of this level of exhaustion. Interesting. I'll have to think about it. Oh, there's something missing here. I haven't found the fisherman yet. cult hit. An assassin came for your life. You survived, but the attacker got away. With no clues other than an esoteric mask, you must be ready to return at any time. Alright. Well, I can get some healing this way. Let's drink one of our ointments. And then have a couple mushrooms. Oh, a couple apples. There we go. So yeah, we could... There are a bunch of things we could do, but I do think that we should probably do what Snell recommended and go talk to the scholar. Sneef? I keep forgetting his name. I don't know why. Snur. Sneefner. Hey, Snur. He waves a hand in front of him. Life is pain. What do you want? We were attacked by an assassin. It seemed like a cult thing. Yeah. He had an iron mask on. Real creepy. Ah. Cults are not as common these days, but a few still spring up from time to time, of course. What does the mask look like? A green? Oxidized copper, maybe? Had lines across it. Seemed esoteric. Definitely esoteric. Definitely esoteric. And a dagger. Wavy yellow thing. Basically, he ran at us and tried to stab us, and, well, something magical was going on, too. Then he got away before he could get answers, after he failed to kill us, or at least the cleric. Not a cultist. No? Doesn't sound like it. Not any organized thing, at least. Sounds more like a lone actor. He sniffs. Cultists move in groups. They kidnap rather than kill. They wear matching uniforms, like some fucking theater performance. From all the cults I know of, Isuth's dragon cult, the cult of elemental evil, the various titan cults, and all the borderline cults of the evil waking gods. Isuth, the red dragon of Ascan, his rise to power through trickery and betrayal is legendary, as is his fall to Abacus, the half-wit, and the mist titan. Rumors say his spirit still haunts the ever-lit burned coast to this day. This could be a new one, or some minor cult history has overlooked. More likely this is a radicalized spellcaster, or a follower of some magical creature. If he's draped up in magical gear, it's more likely a professional hit. Does anyone want you dead? Might have something to do with the tea shop. The halfling barely listens to your comment and touches his mustache. Perhaps a warlock. The goblin winces at hearing the word. But for what patron? Fey creature? Some aberration? Who knows? You should be careful, though. That kind of magic's deadly at best. Right. Good info. Slightly horrifying, but good info. We'll keep that in mind if we run into him again. You do that. And my tip, strike before he gets off any of that dark magic on you. As the old legionnaires say, rather a blade in the belly than a curse in the balls. He laughs. Anything but mass torsion. And you should be fine. Mass torsion, an infamous spell that causes all testicles around to twist, turn, and clench. It's horrific. I like that Charisma identified that spell, because it's not real. Alright. So, I think that's a pretty good spot to stop, especially since it's about to try and run ads for us, and I don't want to do that. So, we'll overwrite our save here. Quit to menu. I will be back tomorrow with more Esoteric Ebb. Ooh, more characters to be found. Grab his dick and twist it in his magic form. Exactly. Alright, as always, everyone here, if you would like, you can follow me on social media. I have a Blue Sky, and we have a nice chill Discord. Very supportive, always happy to have more people around. You can join if you like, but don't feel obligated. And, yeah. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. I'll let you guys know if I know more about that collab offer when it happens. But yeah, more Esoteric Ebb for the next couple of days. And later this week, we will do more Graveyard Keeper. Grab yourselves a raid message. We're going to go find somebody to raid. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Who's online? Quick, I've got almost no time. I've got 1 minute. Thank you for stream. Thank you for being here, Inworth. It's always good to see you. Let's raid Hildy. She's doing more satisfactory. People that I'm following. Hildy. Alright. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.